Part two, I created all of my advertisements. I usually do when I'm on social media. I don't usually use other people's stuff. The last time I did that was when I had Beyond the Black Square on IG, and that was years ago. That was 2020. And I was only doing that to, pay homage to the people who created it. But I wasn't sure. I didn't know about the ins and outs of how you do that. Like, I didn't know about like giving credit and adding people, and I didn't know about all that. It was just like, this person's page is amazing. I want to put their stuff up on my page. I thought that was okay. I never thought it was a problem to show like appreciation for people who were like doing great things online, so apparently it was, because everybody came together and decided to flag my account. But we're not going to talk about that because that really is the past. Let's move forward. So, this stuff has stemmed from off of online people who, knew that I existed, but then ended up finding me online, family members who were watching Beyond the Black Square. See, that's the crazy thing about it. It's almost like I don't really want to talk about it, but I have to, because a lot of shit stemmed from that. A lot of shit stemmed from that, and so, and I just hate to, I do not want to bring certain stuff up, but I'm like, you can't even get around it. You can't get around it, baby, because you're going to have to. At some point, you're going to have to talk about certain things or whatever. And I mean, I'm not talking about, because I don't have a problem with talking about things, but I'm talking about like how things transpired regarding my platform, so I think that's probably the best way I can say it right now, but attacking my children and stuff like that. And the only reason niggas is doing this shit is because they know I'm not affiliated with any type of like, you know what I mean? So people feel like, oh, that's easy. We could really, and it's like, wow, that's interesting. You see a woman, a single woman at that, with her kids, and that's the first thing that comes to your mind is an easy target, an easy hit. Wow. Your first mind, that's how you know you unhealthy, because your first mind should lead you into saying, you know what, let me see what's going on with this sister. Why is she living like that? What's going on? Like, is this like her lifestyle, or like did something happen to cause this situation? Like, let's find out what happened to cause this. Has anybody reached out to her to see like if she's open to talking or having an interview, or, like just a casual conversation or whatever in reference to like what's happening? Because, I think we probably should express some concern. Something that's not right over there. What's going on? Not to be in her business, but shit, she got kids and stuff. Like, can we in some kind of way come together to help this lady? No, nobody thought about that. Instead, they used my story to collect donations and shit. How do I know? Oh shit, how does she know that? Because you accidentally sent one to me. You accidentally sent an invite to me. And that's why they hurried up when they found that out. They hurried up and start pushing my ass off of IG. And they were pushing, harassing. And that's when I started the page on IG called Miss Truman. MISS Truman. Okay. And that's when I started posting all of the cyberbullying shit that was going on. That page is no longer there. It's been gone a long time ago. So I've been getting targeted, you guys. This is not a new situation, okay? All right. But back to what I was saying. Let me take a moment. I want to breathe for a second. Give me a second. Okay? I've had people call CPS on me. I've had people call police on me as, practical jokes and shit like that, trying to cause problems in my family. All of that stuff collectively, that caused conflict between me and my teenage young adult children. A lot of that was happening. You were doing that intentionally because you knew that it was going to cause problems. My children are used to stability. They grew up in the same school district from kindergarten on up to high school. Okay, so they're used to stability. They're not used to going through what we're going through due to whatever the hell is going on out there that's targeting us now. Okay, so they're not used to any of that shit, or they weren't used to it. So then it became an issue of, mom, like, what's going on? Because I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that's always handling things. They knew that if they kept me down, that it was going to cause disruption within my household. They knew that. They anticipated it. They banked on it. Because they knew that if I can get my kids to walk away, if they could get my kids to walk away from me and lose faith in me because of the situation that we were in, and that it seemed like it wasn't getting any better because they kept coming for us. Kept coming for us. They knew that eventually it was going to cause an issue. And it did. That's why I said, man, good job. You called it. Good job. Your role is to play the villain. You played it. You did what you had to do, I guess. Right? I've had police come out. I've had my daughter, hit me before. I was like, oh my God, we've never gone through that. She'd start going through a lot of situations. These people that they placed around my kids had drugs on them. Next thing you know, my kid goes from a wholesome, and I have pictures and video and all that stuff, of how she was when we first got to where we are. And then what happened after she started getting around these people who were clearly connected to whoever it is that's harassing me online. How do I know? Because as soon as my daughter would turn her back from her friends, her so-called friends, they would let me know in secret and in code exactly what the fuck they was up to. And when I tell my daughter, those are not your friends, she would think that I was trying to pull her away from the cool kids. Imagine that. Okay. Now that part happens often and in every healthy household. But I said to myself, I was like, I can't keep my kids going through this because this is not a stable situation. I need to get them somewhere that is stable. So if I have to find a temporary place for my children to be, I will. Unfortunately, because their father never cared to give me a phone number or an address, I wasn't able to call him so that he can finally step up and be a father after 15 years. He didn't step up until he was paid off. Moving on. Confirmation all up and through that one. So, and when he did, he lied on me and he made it seem as if I was, some unfit parent on drugs. I'm like, child, I don't even do drugs. The worst you're going to see me do is I just recently, after several years, went and got myself a little pre-roll. Okay? That's the worst you're going to see. Okay? And at the lightest, you're going to see me have a glass of wine. And you definitely going to hear me talk my shit. Because that's just, that comes along with it, Unfortunately, that comes along with it, but for the most part, I live a pretty sober life. I'm pretty normal when it comes to like alcohol intake and all that type of shit. Stressed out and not stressed out. Because I do have to stay alert how I'm living, where I'm living, what I'm going through, the people within my environment. I wish I would be out of my mind and not watching these folks. Okay, so I've had people sneak up on me and try to stab me and all kinds of shit where I'm at. You know? It's a lot. It's a lot. And all people do is just laugh. They think it's funny. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's not you, so you don't care. I know. It probably is funny if you think about it from the outside. So this is a lot that me and my family have gone through. I've had conversations with officers who have told me that the area that we are in, for whatever reason, the youngsters in this particular region, they act like that. And I was like, my daughter doesn't act like that. My daughter has never raised her hand to hit me, ever. She's not even that type of kid. Like, she will sit down, because I'm the type of parent who will sit her down, like, sit your behind down. What's wrong with you? Talk to me. What is on your mind? What are you going through? My kids were raised in love. They were supported. They've always been embraced. They've never been neglected. But they painted that picture. Due to this situation, they made sure that they kept me in this situation so that they can manipulate everything else around us. And everybody watched, knowing exactly what was happening. And I watched them watch, knowing exactly what was happening.